You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what he actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Thursday, happy Jupiter day, and happy birthday to not only some notable Sagittariuses, but also one of my good friends had her baby this morning. So wishing a happy birthday to a beautiful new soul who entered the world. And this is who she shares her birthday with. Adam Brody. Okay, interesting. Maud Apatow. Love her. If you saw Euphoria, you probably recognize her. Camilla Luddington from Grey's Anatomy, Tim Conway. Not a lot of people that I actually recognize. And of course, nobody holds a candle to the sweet baby who just came into the world, a baby girl. Yeah, happy birthday, tiny humans. Sending lots of love to my friend and this new soul, and just so excited to get to know her. We have a few of you joining us. Elena says she made it to the beginning of the live. Happy you're here. Hey, Diane. Hi, Rachel. And I'm curious to know how everyone is feeling today. I will tell you the difference between the moon being in your 12th house and the moon being in your first house is night and day, literally night and day. Feeling so much lighter today, so much better today since the moon has moved into my first house. Yes, what a blessing. She came super quick, kind of unexpected. Really cool when we think about childbirth or new humans coming into the world, and their chart reflects the transits that are playing out at that time, right? And so when we talk about the forecast today, you'll see how the energy really supported a birth this morning and really caused some commotion, some action, which is just a really cool view of astrology. Rachel says she's feeling a little better today. Moon is almost out of her 12th house. Can definitely feel that lift and hope. Just wait till tomorrow, Rachel. Wait till tomorrow. I'm telling you, I knew it was coming. You know, I knew that the moon was moving into my first house, and I was like, okay, it's going to get easier. It's going to get better. But whew, that 12th house transit was a doozy. It was not Tuesday, actually. I don't think Tuesday has had her baby yet. I have at least, well, two now, but at least three different people in my community, in my circle, three different women who were all due right around the winter solstice. So lots of new babies coming into the world, and all of them are girls. I'm a little biased, but I'm super excited. Super excited. Lena says she's having a wonderful day today, manifested the exact job that she wanted and needed. Congratulations. That's amazing. Let's get a check on the current energy. So the sun is in Sagittarius, the moon is in Virgo. We're coming into the last quarter moon, and we'll really be feeling that last quarter moon releasing energy kick in tonight. So today we're just talking about the Virgo moon. No other major planetary connections happening today. And after the forecast we had yesterday with so much to talk about, it is a nice little respite from major planetary activity. That's not to say we're not still feeling the sun squaring Neptune. It's certainly still playing out. You can see the chart here, what's going on. We still have that square between the sun and Neptune, but it's moving away. It's pulling away. It's all good, right? Also, Mercury and Chiron still squaring each other just a little bit, but all of these tense transits are easing up today. And the Virgo moon is a beautiful energy for just clearing it out, starting fresh, starting anew. Yes, happy birthday to that baby. Oh, you were late. I remember you were due very close to the end of the year last year. So your baby's about to turn 1 pretty soon. That is so exciting. Winter babies are fun. Today's a slow start, Diane says. Icy, cold morning in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, right? PA? Yeah. Yeah, sending you so much love, Elena. My ascendant is at 23 degrees Sag. Is the sun on my ascendant today? You bet it is. Look at that. Look at that. Exactly on your ascendant. The sun is about to move into your first house, a new chapter for you, really illuminating you being seen and starting something new, showing up in a different way. So perfect for what you just shared with us. So yes, the sun in Sagittarius, the moon in Virgo. The sun and moon are squaring each other right now. That's what marks the last quarter moon. But with both of them in mutable signs, I feel like a square in mutable signs is a little easier to navigate than a square in, let's say, fixed signs or cardinal signs, because we're just able to flow and adapt a little more easy when we're working with mutable energy. Now, that's, you might still experience some tension today with our major luminaries squaring each other, but let's talk about what's going on with the Virgo moon. Let me take you through it transit by transit. So I just realized I am on the wrong day. Give me a moment here to pull up the forecast. All right, there we go. So we have the waning gibbous moon in Virgo. Let's just touch on this for a moment. The waning moon coming into the last quarter moon, we're in releasing mode. We're in cleansing mode, letting go. And cleansing feels like a really great way to describe a waning moon in Virgo, because Virgos like things to be clean and organized. There's an element of purity here. We really just want that clean slate with the waning moon in Virgo. So this is a powerful opportunity to clear out any stagnant energy, whether it's emotional energy you just need to purge, or physical clutter that you need to clean out. And remember that Virgo is the sign of service. So helping other people in some way, shape, or form can feel very cathartic under a Virgo moon. Okay, so the first transit we experienced today was actually, we had a lot going on overnight. So you might have experienced restless sleep overnight. I'll explain why in a moment, but there was a lot of activity happening in the middle of the night. So if you found yourself tossing and turning or having a hard time staying asleep, even having really active dreams or being very mentally active overnight, that's because the moon was busy. So the moon was harmonizing with Mercury, a trine to Mercury at 1 a.m. You can see the moon at 16 degrees, Mercury at 12 degrees. So not quite in that trine still, but you get the idea. You get the picture. And when the moon and Mercury harmonize, it allows our emotions and our mental state to flow with one another. So I know I had really potent dreams last night that I remembered. Like, it felt like messages specifically coming through my subconscious. But also, this was 1 a.m. Pacific time, 4 a.m. Eastern time. It might have shown up for you late last night with ideas coming through, insights coming through, even first thing this morning. When the moon and Mercury connect like this, there is this ability to analyze, especially with the moon in Virgo ruled by Mercury. Even in our subconscious state, even dreaming, your brain might have been trying to analyze certain emotions that you're feeling in your waking life. Today, or even overnight, would have been a powerful time to journal, to have a journal by your bedside. But realizations, aha moments can come when the moon harmonizes with Mercury. And not just on a mental level, but the moon in Virgo likes to be productive. Virgo energy likes to be productive. And the moon harmonizing with Mercury might just make you feel a little more productive. which is where that restlessness can come into, especially because just 2 hours later at 3 a.m. Pacific time, the moon squared Mars. So it's really cool to think about this in terms of birthing, right? Laboring. The moon harmonizing with Mercury. It's that busy energy. It's like go, 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 do, do, do. Lots of information coming through, downloads coming through. And then at 3 a.m., the moon was squaring Mars. Still, you can see that light red line. The moon squaring Mars is like action. Let's go, right? Which is why if you're trying to sleep, it can make you feel very restless or bring through a lot of action-packed dreams. But I'm assuming, I haven't gotten all the details yet, but I'm assuming that my friend was literally laboring. I think baby came around 5:30 in the morning. So she was most likely laboring while the moon was squaring Mars. And that can create a surge of motivation as well, like being able to just do it. It might have made you wake up, especially if you live on the East Coast or somewhere farther east. 6 a.m. is when the moon was squaring Mars for you, or even later in the morning. And you might have even felt a little irritated. The moon squaring Mars can make us feel irritated. Small annoyances could kind of ruffle your feathers because the moon's in Virgo, and we're all aware of the details when the moon is in Virgo. So the moon squaring Mars, like even the slightest little annoyances could kind of make you angry. Now, luckily, these two transits played out overnight, so there's a good chance many of us just slept right through them or didn't experience the full effects of them. But it's pretty cool to think about how this was all playing out during a very action-packed time in my friend's life, right? Rachel says, I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning, wasn't able to go back to sleep, kept getting creative insights for what I can make and get for some people at the spiritual shop. I love that. So on point with the transits, right? Just an active mind, maybe even restless body with the moon squaring Mars. You're not the first person who told me they had a hard time sleeping. I had those moments last night and this morning, Marissa says. Yeah, I love the clarity, and it really puts me back to myself. For those of us who have a lot of mercurial influence in our charts, so Virgo risings, Gemini risings, even if you're a Virgo or Gemini sun, and if you're ruled by Mercury or Mercury plays a big role in your chart, when the moon harmonizes with Mercury, it feels good. It feels good. And just like Marissa's saying, love that clarity, really feeling like herself. That is so sweet. Really just want to show them how appreciative I am of them creating a safe space for me. You're so sweet, Rachel. I love that. Yes, perfectly aligned. Perfectly aligned. There you go, Gemini rising. So you were loving that Mercury transit. Okay, so we talked about the moon harmonizing with Mercury. We talked about the moon squaring Mars. Then at 7 a.m. Pacific time, so 10 a.m. Eastern time, this is really the energy most of us woke up feeling, and this has shown up in a really cool way too. The moon was harmonizing with Uranus, forming a trine to Uranus. So you can see on the chart, the moon at 16 degrees, Uranus at 15 degrees, that light blue line pulling away from that trine right now, but we're still feeling it actually. And what's so cool about this is already twice today, I have gotten really surprising news, learned really surprising information. The first being that baby arrived right as the moon was coming into that trine with Uranus. And when the moon and Uranus harmonize, it creates major energetic shifts. There's change. It could be disruptions of some kind, but this is positive with the moon and Uranus in this balanced angle. So it allows us to flow with changes as they come, even under the particular Virgo moon. We might have woken up feeling excitement, anticipation. When the moon and Uranus harmonize like this, it's like we really want to thrill. We're excited about something, and our intuition is heightened at the same time. So the moon and Uranus harmonizing just a few hours after the same thing happened with Mercury is really keeping that momentum of insights coming through, intuitive downloads coming in. Any urges or inklings you have today, trust those. If it's like, I really feel like I should do this, you can lean into that a little bit more when the moon and Uranus are making this positive and fortunate connection. A trine is a fortunate connection. So I love that. It's so cool that souls know when to come into the world, that babies know when to come into the world. And this baby was just like, all right, mom's ready for a change. It's go time. It's action time. The moon is squaring Mars, and this trine to Uranus is my time to make my entrance, create a disruption in the world, and the most beautiful kind of positive disruption you can possibly make, right? What's interesting, though, is that baby girl is going to have her moon squaring Mars and trine Uranus. So she is probably going to be a little bit of a rebel, maybe even a little bit of a disruptor, kind of poking people's buttons. It's just so cool. I can't wait to see what her personality is like and get to know her. So yes, the moon harmonizing with Uranus. And also this morning, I woke up to a message about some juicy gossip I didn't even ask for, but it was like, whoa, I literally said, oh my God, out loud, and had to share with my partner, like, this is what I just found out. And I won't spread the gossip, but yeah, that would be the moon trine Uranus, like dropping bombshells, big surprises, change of pace, big shifts happening. So we've already had an action-packed morning. The moon in Virgo likes to be busy, and boy, has it gotten busy over the past, 10 hours now. The next connections the Virgo moon will make won't be until tonight. And this is when that release energy, that tension is going to reach its peak. So let me pull this up on the chart for you, because we're talking about a T-square, and you know me, I like to be able to show you the T-square with your own eyeballs. Okay, here it is. So it's not an exact T-square, but I really think it's worth talking about all these energies at the same time, because the sun squaring Neptune, we talked about that yesterday, and it really threw a lot of people for a loop. It was confusing. It felt kind of difficult for a lot of us, just kind of foggy, hazy, cloudy. Well, the sun is still loosely squaring Neptune, and the sun and moon will square each other overnight as well. But when the moon comes into this opposition with Neptune, this happens at 9 p.m. Pacific time, so about midnight Eastern time, the moon comes into this opposition with Neptune, and that brings confusion. It brings this urge to check out into a fantasy, to kind of leave our body, just throw on a movie and pretend the real world doesn't exist, right? The moon opposing Neptune. Now, oppositions are like a double-edged sword. They're kind of make or break. So there is this desire to be able to lean into fantasy, lean into trust, lean into belief, right? The moon opposing Neptune is like that desire to believe. But the moon squares the sun right after midnight Pacific time, so overnight. And that is what's making this T-square that you can see here. Let me see if I can get... My Virgo-ness really wants the lines of the T-square to light up. I don't know if that's going to happen though. Kind of. Okay. You can kind of see it. I think that's actually connecting to the point of fortune, but we're going to go with it. So the moon squaring the sun marks the last quarter moon, and that's that peak point of release. When the moon and the sun square each other, we're very aware of the tension between our internal emotions and our external expression, and whatever's not matching up, it's got to be released. Especially under the Virgo moon, it feels like this purging energy, got to get it out, got to clear the stagnancy. But also there's a little bit of confusion happening and illusion happening with the moon opposing Neptune. So it might feel like this tension is arising, but you don't exactly know what to release. And with the sun squaring Neptune, it's just adding to the haziness, adding to the fog. Now, I really sat with this transit for a while before writing the forecast, because I was like, there has to be something to pull from this. There has to be some some medicine here, some wisdom here to share. And it feels like with the moon opposing Neptune, especially on the Virgo Pisces axis, it's kind of the height of the sensitivity we've been feeling. It's this very sensitive moment. And I don't mean just emotionally sensitive, although that's definitely how it could show up, but just our senses are heightened, right? And the opposition, the T-square, is really amplifying the confusion, the doubt that's been surfacing. So what is there to release if we don't know what to release, right? That's really where I was like, okay, how do we work with this? What do we release if we're so confused? But in this T-square, the Sagittarius sun becomes the focal point. Whatever planet is at the right angle of the T-square becomes the focal point. And so that is where we can look to for advice, for the medicine. With the Sagittarius sun, the focal point of this T-square, I feel that it's asking us to embrace growth, embrace expansion, all of that Sagittarius energy, right? And although we're feeling very vulnerable and sensitive right now, we can have faith, we can trust. Sagittarius energy is like, it's going to be okay, girl. It's going to be okay. So with the free Sagittarius sun, this unbridled energy squaring the very controlling and detail-oriented Virgo moon, I feel that this T-square is really asking us to release our grip, to let go of our grip, to have faith in the unknown, to trust, to surrender, to know that there's a plan greater than we can understand right now, and to flow with it. Luckily, we're dealing with a lot of mutable energy in this T-square, and mutable energy allows us to flow and adapt. So if you're feeling the tension tonight, if you're feeling really sensitive tonight, and the moon in Virgo gives us a craving to be in control, right? To know what's coming next, to have a clear-cut plan, to have all of the T's crossed and the I's dotted. But the Sagittarius sun, Neptune and Pisces is like, just flow with it. Let it go, release, trust, believe. And there's a lot of excitement and beauty that comes in just letting things unfold as they're supposed to. So the message that came through when I really sat with this was just let it go. Release and trust in whatever's going to fill the void. Release and have faith in whatever's coming next. But it's okay if you don't know the plan. It's okay if you're a little spontaneous. The Virgo moon's like, oh gosh, no, we have to have a plan. Sagittarius sun, Neptune and Pisces are like, ride on the wind's back and just be free, right? So it's kind of like this energy of releasing control to free ourselves in a lot of ways, to free ourselves from this need for things to be perfect, this need for things to be controlled, this need to have a plan. This last quarter moon feels like freeing ourselves from the Virgo-ness that we're feeling under the Virgo moon. Yes, my pink tree. I have had this tree since college. The first time I ever put it up was my freshman year of college, and it had its own lights. The lights don't work on it anymore, so I have to string lights on it. It's pretty battered, but it has a lot of sentimental meaning to me. I also just realized my couch is all messed up back there. A dog must have came and slept in here last night, probably loving the tree. Yeah, had to add a little bit of festivity to the background for the holidays. Yes, surrender to the bigger picture. A great way of putting it, Elena, because Sagittarius energy is all about the big picture, right? If Virgo is the fine details, Sagittarius is the 30,000 foot view, the big picture, and surrendering, releasing the need to know all the details, right? Rachel says, something that's been coming up for me is the tension with how I show up in the world, which is something I've always struggled with, always learning how to navigate this. It's interesting because you've been having a lot of activation with your midheaven, with Mars retrograde, and that's probably squaring your ascendant too. I think things will get a little clearer for you after this last quarter moon and after the moon moves into your first house. But you're doing it. You're doing the work. You're showing up here every day. You're showing up at the shop in your neighborhood and making friends there. So give yourself credit for how much you're showing up and how you're learning to show up, because you're doing great. You're doing a great job, and it doesn't have to be perfect. No one's judging you based on all the little details in your mind that you are hyper aware of, right? I say that as a Virgo, as someone who is very similar. I am big on needing to buy things. I always come back to being okay with uncertainty. I think I am big on needing to know things, but I always come back to being okay with uncertainty. I've been feeling the back and forth all morning. Yeah, well, release the need to know. Release the need to know tonight under the last quarter moon. Embrace uncertainty. Embrace excitement. The moon harmonizing with Uranus right now makes uncertainty and change feel exciting. So lean into that energy. Yes, Rachel. I'm really proud on how far I've come, giving myself grace for how long it'll take to heal that and let it go. And also, just thank you for sharing, all of you, always, because it's such a beautiful reflection for all of us when we witness other people's emotions and truth. There's so much reflection in that. But also, be proud of how far you've come. You absolutely should be. And release the timeline. Instead of being focused on, okay, when am I going to be healed? When am I going to be at that place that I wanted to be? Tonight, under this last quarter moon, release the need to know when you're going to get there, because the truth of the matter is no one's ever 100% healed. Healing is a journey, and we're here to continually walk that journey, right? So you're already doing it. You're already there. I see you as showing up as the best version of yourself. I see you as confident. I see you as having so much to offer. And I hope you can look in the mirror today and see yourself that way too, because you should be very proud of yourself. Susan, so happy to see you here. Thank you for the love, sending your good vibes. Yeah, super hyper aware of the details right now. Gotta love that Virgo moon in the 12th house. Yeah, yep. I see this showing up for me in community, letting things happen and being open, releasing the need to know, who am I going to meet? Is this networking opportunity going to be beneficial? Virgo energy. I'm telling you, I am the Virgo, I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm very Virgo, right? It's a blessing and a curse. We're very detail oriented, we're very productive, but also we just are very hyper aware of all the little tiny things in the world. And this last quarter moon is an opportunity to release our grip. I've missed you too. I'm so happy you're here. Okay, that's what's going on. Virgo moon today. We're still feeling the sun squaring Neptune a little bit. So again, even if you really are gripping tight on the need to know things, the need to figure things out, the sun squaring Neptune is going to keep things pretty foggy still. So I like to imagine Neptune energy, Pisces energy, as just being in a cloud and floating along and being like, I don't know what's on the outside of this cloud and I don't know where it's taking me, but I'm just going to trust and enjoy the ride. Enjoy the fact that I'm in a freaking cloud and this is a fantasy, right? That's kind of the visual I think of when I'm like, Neptune's energy is just really asking us to trust in the journey, trust in the fantasy, and let it happen. Let it happen. And also, we still have Pluto and Lilith opposing each other. So this need for control, even this desire to manipulate things or have power over the situation is still very heightened as well. And if you're feeling that, that's okay. No need to shame yourself for it. Just know, okay, there's a lot happening in the astrology forecast that's going to make me want to control things, but that is an invitation to lean further into surrender, lean further into release. Yes, Katie. and letting go of what I think relationships should look like, tuning into my intuition if situations feel right or not. Amen to that. Amen to that. Because we just should all over ourselves all the time. I should be doing this. I should have had this done by now. I should have connected with that person. I should have said that other thing because I didn't get my point across. I should have asked them about their family or whatever. But yes, feeling into, does this person's vibe fit with my vibe? Because I think a lot of times as humans, we kind of fall into this scarcity mindset when it comes to connections, when it comes to friends. Did I miss that opportunity? Did I say the right thing? Did they like me? And it's like, if we're meant to be connected to somebody, we're going to be connected to somebody, right? So tuning into that intuition, like you said, yeah, Katie, always on point. Always on point. Truly. My Neptune is in Capricorn, and I'm like, yeah, a lot of us probably have Neptune in Capricorn here because Neptune moves so slowly. I mean, think about it. It's only moved 2 signs since we were born. So it likes to go slow. It's very, it's going at its own pace, right? But the nice thing about having Neptune in Capricorn with Neptune currently in Pisces is that there is support here. Our dreams are supported. Our fantasies are supported. So that's a really great way to look at what's going on with Neptune right now. Yes, it's squaring the sun, and that's definitely uncomfortable. But in the bigger picture, if you have Neptune in Capricorn, your Neptune is being supported by Neptune. So it's allowing us to believe a little bit more easily, supporting us in our ability to believe. Something that has been coming up for me recently, Elena says, is learning to find comfort in the uncomfortable. Yeah, the uncomfortableness of my current situation, deeply knowing that this is just a small part of my life story. That's a great point too, Elena, because think back to different versions of yourself, even like childhood, the things that made us uncomfortable, the things that we were stressed about as children, they were absolutely valid. But now we're like, okay, maybe we overreacted, or maybe that wasn't as big of a deal. We wouldn't think that was such a big deal now. But in the moment, it felt like the end of the world, even as like a 5-year-old, someone taking your toy away at preschool felt like the world was going to end. Now we know how to share. Now we're not quite as emotionally vulnerable, or, this example could go a million different ways, but it's just a small part. This current discomfort is just a small window of the overall story of your life. And that's a beautiful reflection, learning to find comfort in the uncomfortable. Everyone's feeling Katie's insights. Rachel says, I got an insight yesterday too, to just trust my gut instinct and use my mind when needed. It goes with the chakras that are active within you. Super interesting. Definitely. And I know a lot of us are very practical, analytical people. We've got a lot of Capricorn energy here. We've got a lot of Virgo energy here. And I know, as someone who is ruled by Mercury, who's very Virgo, that my mind, I can talk myself in and out of anything. But learning to trust my intuition, learning to listen to my body is a whole other skill set that doesn't quite come as naturally for me. So I feel that, Rachel. Oh, we love you too. I always clap when you comment. Yes. Katie with the wisdom, always dropping it in. Yeah, we do. We should all over ourselves. I didn't make that up. I don't know who did. I heard that from somebody else, but it stuck with me. And now when I find myself thinking or saying I should do this, I'm like, says who? I'm my own boss. I can do whatever I want to do. Do I really feel like doing that in the moment? How do I feel about it? Not mentally what I think I should be doing, but how do I really feel about it in this moment? Maribel says, so much has gone on these last 3 months, but I'm finally giving myself grace for all of my accomplishments, even overcoming my downfalls. That's beautiful. We're celebrating you too. You've accomplished so much. I don't even know the details, but I'm so proud of you. Give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. Yes, a beautiful co-creation. You say something, I reflect on it, someone else grabs some wisdom, drops it in. It's the best kind of co-creation. All right, let's come back to our affirmation of the day, something that might come in handy a little later in the night. I release my grip, knowing I am taken care of. Coming into the last quarter moon, really releasing control under the last quarter moon in Virgo, and with the sun in Sagittarius, with Neptune in Pisces squaring this last quarter moon energy, it's really reminding us that there's a plan bigger than we can understand. We just have to have faith and believe in the unfolding, believe in the unknown, find comfort in the uncomfortable, just trust that we're going to be taken care of. How many times before have you been faced with the unknown? Have you been faced with uncertainty and it worked out? You were taken care of, right? We have proof. We can look back on our own lives. And for those of us who need proof, who are very logical, we've been taken care of before. Why wouldn't it happen again? Katie says, yes, almost like the Virgo anxiety of being open, flowing, and letting go of control. But when we can lean into a power or a belief greater than we can fully rationalize, it's a lot easier to let go of control. It's a lot easier because we know we'll be taken care of. Our angels, our guides, the universe, all supporting us in this release and ushering us in whatever way, shape, and form it can to the next chapter, to the next phase, to the next opportunity. All right, let's go ahead and finish up with a card pull. I'm going to pull from the Work Your Light deck today. Felt like the appropriate deck for all this Virgo energy. And I've been loving all that you've been sharing in the chat. So if you have any other thoughts, any other questions, any other wisdom you want to share, I am here to share it with everyone else and receive it and reflect it back to you. So let me know. I'm just feeling excited today. There's something about like birth. I mean, I've never given birth, but even just knowing like people are being born literally every minute, but somebody I know was born, like that's really exciting. And there's more babies on the way. It's an exciting time. The winter solstice is less than a week away now. So we're at the very end of fall. The seasons are changing. There's a lot of change in the air. And with change comes excitement. It can be a little uncomfortable, but it can also be exciting. Rachel says, I do have a quick question. Of course, Mercury is within 2 degrees of my Uranus right now and 4 degrees from my Neptune. What does it mean for those of us who have these placements in Capricorn, mine's in the 4th house? I'm so glad you brought this up because a lot of us can relate to this actually. So if you have, most of us who were born in the early to mid 90s have a conjunction between Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn. Pretty rare actually, those of us in this window of babies. So Mercury getting ready to cross over Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn could bring a change of mind, a change of belief. It could just bring mental awareness to our beliefs, to our dreams. I like to, when I read people's charts who have this conjunction, I like to say that with Uranus and Neptune in Capricorn, the sign of career, the sign of work and goals and achievements, we are really changing. Our generation is changing what it means to have a dream job, right? Or like our dreams of our career. We're the generation that's kind of disrupting that. A lot of us want to work for ourselves. We don't want to work for corporations anymore. And even our dreams with family, Capricorn being the sign of the father, like our long-term goals have changed. We are the ones changing them, right? Hopefully that resonates. I don't know if I explained that very well, but that's kind of how I describe that conjunction, those placements to people with them in their chart. With Mercury crossing over both of them, there's just going to be this mental awareness of, with Mercury crossing over your Neptune, of your dreams, right? Of imagination, inspiration could come through, as this could feel very inspiring actually, because Uranus can bring through those insights too. So you might get some career inspiration, some inspiration for your long-term goals with this happening in Capricorn. Inspiration that could set you on a path that could change your long-term goals even, or change the journey that you're going on. So I'm so glad you brought this up. I love that this is a co-creation, because you're tuned in and you're making us all aware of something that I didn't even think about until you brought it up. So yeah, I think a lot of inspiration, a lot of insights could come through for us. And like I said, even like a change of mind, a change of belief, that could come from insights, that could come from a download, that could come from something clicking and having an aha moment, like, oh, that's how I can believe. It could be a message with Mercury conjunct Neptune. It could be a message from another realm. It could be a message from a spirit guide that sparks a new sense of belief in you and changes your mindset in some way, shape, or form. Diane says, well, Elena, that might be the lesson I'm being taught right now. I feel like these past 2 years, the universe has been trying to teach me something, but I keep missing the lesson. Maybe this is it. And the lesson being to learn how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. Yeah. And it reminds me of something that Rachel brought up yesterday too, being a people pleaser. And a lot of times we please other people and we cater to other people to avoid discomfort, right? We don't want to be uncomfortable, so we cater to other people's needs to try to control the situation. But being comfortable in the uncomfortable also means witnessing other people's discomfort and not fixing it. Because yes, it makes us uncomfortable too, and the people around us are uncomfortable, right? So, this is beautiful. So much wisdom. It's like this cross-pollination. Someone over here is saying something someone over here needed to hear, and vice versa. Amazing. Amazing. And yes, going back to Neptune and Uranus. Yeah, and it could be some ideas about work and how you can do things differently with Mercury crossing over Uranus, kind of disrupting our mindset, how you can do things differently to be more aligned with your long-term goals and these big dreams that you have. Rachel, I knew that would resonate for you. Totally feeling this. Don't worry, I'll bring it up when Venus and the Sun hits that area too. I love you. This is why I love having this community, because I am not all-knowing. You know, every time I look at my own chart, I'm like, oh, this is happening now. You know, there's so many different planets and placements and everything's always moving. So I fully trust and believe that the questions you ask, the insights you drop in the chat are for all of us to hear and all of us to reflect on. Wow, Katie says, I've been having big visual insights of what my future looks like in my career, my family, for myself. It feels very familiar or similar, to the quality of insights when I was about 15 to 17 years old. Vision, yeah, visualizing what you want to happen and what's going to happen is a really powerful tool to manifest what you desire. That's incredible. Yeah, definitely. Learning to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. Definitely something I've been learning to integrate into my life. Not the easiest, but it brings me comfort. Yeah. Wow. Rachel says, so uncomfortable right now, having a bit of anxiety of how the person feels, but glad I set that boundary. And if they're meant to be in your life, they will be in your life. If they're meant to connect to you and be connected to you, they will accept you for who you are in this moment. None of us sign a contract that's like, this is who I'm going to be for the rest of my life. We're allowed to change. We're allowed to evolve. We're allowed to adapt. We're allowed to change our mind too. So yes, be you, show up as you. Know that there are so many people who love what you're doing, who love your energy. We appreciate you so much here. And if whoever this person is can't see that, then they got to go. They're not worthy of all you have to offer. Okay, let's do this card pull. I'm going to do one final shuffle, and let's all just take a nice deep cleansing breath together. Remember that you don't have to do any sort of major cleansing ritual unless you're feeling called to, but even under this purge of energy we're feeling today, this last quarter moon, just a single breath can be all you need to cleanse and to reset. So if you're joining me live or if you're finding this video later, give yourself the gift of taking this moment to take the deepest breath you've taken all day. Here we go. Breathe in. Hold it. And as you breathe out, send your energy into the cards. Here we go. What do we need to know? The Great Gathering. It's coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe. Ooh, so on point. So on point. A little creepy. I'm not gonna lie. This card looks a little creepy. It's all these like souls standing in a field, but it kind of feels similar to the live stream. Like we're all tuning in from a different place, a different realm. It's like our spirits are coming together even though we're not together physically. So that's a more fun way of looking at it than a creepy way. Okay, let's see. The Great Gathering. Here is the message that wants to come through today. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe. You are being called to let your intuition move you physically. You are connected to a group of souls who are weaving a web around the planet. And as you travel and share your creations, something is rethreaded. This card is an acknowledgement that you are either being called to connect with others who are like you at a soul level or that you already are. You're being called to gather groups of people, either by leading them or becoming part of a group that can support you and your soul's personal mission. You are part of a group of souls who agreed to be here at this time in history to heal yourself, your ancestral line, and the planet, to raise consciousness so that we can all continue to call this magnificent place home for eras to come. One of many consciously choosing to devote your life to something greater than yourself. It's time to call in your tribe by sharing your soul's voice and letting yourself be seen. When you share what is real and true to you, and you share the medicine that you most need, those who are like you will gather around you. You are your tribe. They are just like you. And just as you are longing and searching for them, they are longing and searching for you too. Wow. Okay, I have to read the activation because, Rachel, this is for you. I mean, this is for all of us, and I feel like this resonates with everything we've been saying, but this is the activation. Hold the card on your heart and say, I choose now to let myself be seen. I am ready to call in my soul tribe and create a web of light all over the planet. And so it is. This feels like the perfect card today, the Great Gathering, reminding us that we are all connected for a reason. We're all here to share our wisdom, to support each other on our rise, and all of the intuitive hits you've all been getting and sharing are the exact wisdom and the exact medicine that each of us needed to hear today. Such a perfect demonstration of how this live stream has been going. Ooh. Maribel, what a trip. I countered a job offer and I'm waiting to see if they will accommodate my needs. Yeah, a little uncomfortable, but trust that you're being guided. If it's meant to be, it will be. Yes, sending you positive energy and good vibes and love and hoping for the best possible outcome, whatever that looks like. Yes. This was so perfect. This is all of us, all these creepy little spirits in this field. Trying to get the card to show you because the ring light's too bright. But yeah, I'll post a picture on Instagram. This one's too good not to share. This card is a definition of this community, literally in tears because of how thankful I am for you guys. We are so thankful for you. This is amazing. I am just so happy that you're all here. Wow, Katie says I'm going to a group meditation on ancestry, connecting to our ancestors and being an ancestor. This is so amazing. I received this message. So perfect for you. Such confirmation that that is what you're meant to be doing right now. Even talking about ancestry in the description. Incredible. Yay, Susan. Studying for my real estate test next week. Perfect timing. And we are here supporting you and envisioning you killing that test, acing it, having the best time taking it too. Like taking it and being like, ooh, I got this. Yes. Sending you that energy, my friend. Yeah, look at you all. I mean, yes, we are all witnessing magic. Couldn't have said it better myself. You are all so incredible. Such amazing human beings who continue to show up in this community, to show up for yourselves, and also to send love to each other. There is nothing more impactful that I think we can do for another human being than just to witness them and send them love regardless of what state they're in, how they're feeling, how uncomfortable they might be, how successful they might be in the moment. And I learn so much from each of you every day, and I'm seriously so grateful that you are all part of this community. Katie says, I'm so grateful for this community. I've always struggled to make friends, and this group teaches me so much and literally changes the way I show up in the world. You guys are going to make me cry today. This is just, it's a good thing the moon's not in my 12th house anymore. I would just be a ball of mush on the floor. Oh, I love you all. Thank you all for being here. Not just here in this live stream, but here on Earth at this time, doing the positive work you're doing in your own lives, in your own communities, outside of this live stream. It's so important. It's what we signed up for. It's why we're here, right? We're each other's soul tribe. We're attracting each other. We're meant to connect. I love it. All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode of Transits today, or else I'm just going to stay on here and keep telling you all how much I love you and how grateful I am. I'll still be thinking that and sending that out even after the live stream is over. I will be back tomorrow morning to talk through the energy of the weekend ahead, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And then next week, I am planning on having some pre-recorded forecasts go out. So doing a lot of work behind the scenes because we'll be traveling for the holidays. But I'll keep you all posted on how to get the guidance, how to interact, how to be involved. And yes, I am very excited for January. It's going to be a good new year. I'm excited. Yes, all the tears of joy. All the tears of joy. We love you, Rachel. Okay, everybody. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Keep this vibrant energy that we've cultivated here and spread it like glitter out in the world. You have so much to offer. You are each such a bright light, and I know that you're making a huge impact on everyone that you come across today and all the days. Okay, everybody. Yeah, I'm excited. Show me what you come up with, Rachel, because I'm still doing a lot of brainstorming too about January. And I'm so excited for you all to see each other and meet each other. Okay, I gotta go. Have a great day. I love you all. I will see you tomorrow. And until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.